That is Shraddhaya Parayopetaha Teme Yukta Tamamataha. Bhagavan being the common goal for both of them, Bhagavan says, it does not mean, ye tu, but however, even those ye tu who constantly meditate upon me, that me, which is Aksharam, Anirdeshyam, or Aksharam and Avyaktam. The eternities of Bhagavan are of two types. The eternities or the timelessness of Bhagavan are of two types. One is Aksharam and Avyaktam eternity of Krishna, which is what is called Satchit Anandam, and the Aksharam and the Vyaktam eternity of Bhagavan, which is the name, the form, and the leelas of Bhagavan. Do you get it? Aksharam is both. The name is also Aksharam, and the Swarupam is also Aksharam. But why is he giving the word Aksharam? Aksharam, which can never be destroyed, that which is always there. Sthiti. Sthiti means the current state of the existence of the world, or during the pralayam. Pralayam, not dissolution of the world, and during the next cycle of creation again. In these three states, something which is totally not destroyable or not possible to destroy is what is called Aksharam. So obviously Swarupam, which is our Atma Swarupam or Brahma Swarupam, it's very prasiddham that it cannot be destroyed, because that which exists all the time, how can it be destroyed? Only that which is created can be destroyed. And so Swarupam, which is Satchit Anandam, which is the Swarupa of Bhagavan, and that can never be destroyed. We all know that, and that's why he's using the word Aksharam Avyaktam. You see, Aksharam Avyaktam means that Aksharam which is Avyaktam Nartham. That which is not destroyed, which is Krishna Swarupa, and that which is not manifested. Satchit Anandam is never manifested, and we already saw a lot of examples. That Swarupa is like sunlight. That which manifests is like moonlight, right? And moon borrows the light from the sun and manifests its own light. So mind is like that. So mind is capable of being destroyed. The world is like that. Everything is like that. But Aksharam Avyaktam is what is called as Satyam, or what is called as Satchidanandam, which is Atma Swarupam, which is consciousness. Consciousness can never be destroyed. So Aksharam and Avyaktam. Now the question comes, does it mean that Krishna's form and Krishna's name can be destroyed? Is that why for Nirguna Upasakas he is saying Aksharam, Avyaktam, and not for Saguna Upasakas? Na? It is not like that. Krishna's name, Krishna's form is also eternal. Krishna's name and Krishna's form is also eternal, even transcending the three states of the universe of Sthiti, Layam, and Utpatti. Utpatti na creation, Layam means dissolution, and in between state of sustenance. Bhagavan's name and form are also eternal, but then there is a small difference that it is neither created nor destroyed, but it appears and it can disappear. For example, in that state of our Bhagavan appearing as an avataram, it is called Avirbhavam, not Utpatti. And Antardhanam, when gopis were all playing in Vrindavan, suddenly Bhagavan disappeared. And Antardhanam, Avirbhavam is there for Krishna's form, which is not even there for that Swarupam. And so Krishna's form, if you want to technically understand, is Aksharam Vyaktam. And Krishna's Swarupam is Aksharam Avyaktam. Bhagavan or Vyasa Bhagavan or Bhagavan Sri Krishna would never put any extra word for defining something if one can fully define it. See, Bhagavan simply said, Mayi, that's all. Mayi, Krishna, Vasudeva Putrana Salamata. Mayi, finish. Because this is a philosophy shastra. It is not a bhajan. In bhajan, you add more adjectives for Anubhavam. Here he has to just say what it is so that it differentiates, when he says Mayi, if he generally says Upasana or Saguna Upasana, it could be anything, na? Bhagavan wanted to differentiate all the Upasanas and say, my Upasana, people who are actually worshipping me, which is Bhagavan Sri Krishna, which is Parthasarathi, which is Vasudeva, which is also, as our Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada says, Vishwarupan. That upasana is Saguna upasana. Vishwarupa upasana is Bhagavan's greatness. Vishwarupana anartham sarvavyapi, sarvantaryami, sarvashaktan, sarvajnan, sarvakarma palapradan, sarvarupan. Idella Vishwatma. And this is what is Vishwarupan Saguna Dhyanam. Looking at Bhagavan's greatness, Mahimana Vishwarupan liya. And then Madhuryam, Bhagavan's beauty is this lovely form of this little Yadukulanandanan. And Bhagavan's compassion, Parthasarathi. You see, Parthasarathi, compassion. Out of the compassion, love he has for Arjuna, he is now sitting and driving the chariot of Arjuna. Many people, when they let us understand the beauty of Krishna's heart, here, generally, when we go up in the status in the society, we think self-driving itself is below my status. So I put a driver and I sit in the back seat. I don't even sit next to the driver. That's status. This is not just a local lord, the Lord of all lords, Paratparan, Parameshwaran, the Lord of the universe, Jagat ke Ishwaran, Jagadishwaran. That to Bhagavan, even if he self-drives his chariot, it is okay. He is driving somebody else's chariot. You see this? And out of the love he had for Arjuna, he is driving Arjuna's chariot. Some people can do it out of love, but they do it quietly, privately. Let's have a drive and go. Here, in the view of everybody, almost half the world was there. World War Maridana, 18 Akshavanis are there. In the front of everybody, not once, for 18 days, Bhagavan is driving the chariot. And even people who can't normally see are able to see that using Sanjaya, our Dhritarashtra. Adhan Krupa. So, Mai means Vishwarupe is the Mahatmyam. You should know that Mahatmya Jnanam is like foundation. It is not another lovely boy that I am loving here. It is the Jagadishwaran who out of his compassion came down as a lalla here. That's why Shuka Muni shows us how to do bhakti. It is not a story of a lovely boy in Vrindavan. It is a story of Bhagavan. Bhagavan api tatraiva baladevena samyutaha. Bhagavan api tharatri sharatutvulla mallikaha. Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan. Why? Because with that Mahatmya Jnanam as the foundation, which need not be apparent outside, without the foundation, any house will be blown away. With the foundation, house will stand. Any storm, it will stand like a mountain. It will be dhirana. Then dhairyam means persisting in spite of this tempestuous outsides. And if you don't understand what Krishna Bhakti we are doing, I heard from some of our own friends, there used to be some families who come to Nama, have tremendous love for Krishna Katha, they chant, they hear the stories, they're very happy, aha, oh, everything. But suddenly they stop all this. And he asked them, why did you stop? You had a sweet voice and you used to sing in our satsang, you used to come to the lecture and shed tears. What happened? You know what I heard? There was a very small incident that my daughter, she was supposed to enter into a competition and she fell ill one day before the competition. I lost all faith in Krishna. Now what happened to all this bhakti? Sraddhaya pariyopeta. Because Mahatmya Jnanam was not dridam. A house was built suddenly, impulsively, without any foundation, and a small breeze blew that away. I'm not talking about a hypothetical example. Some of you may even know this, isn't it? That is the reason why our Adi Shankara Bhagavad Paatah says, Mai, and he is saying, Vishwarupe. Not because Adi Shankara Bhagavad Paatah did not love the form of Patsarthi and all that. He says, Adipada, foundation. Have the foundation of Mahatmyam set properly. Mahatmya Jnana Sudrudaha. Sarvado adhikasneha bhaktiriti uchyate, says the Mahatma. So, whom are we actually worshipping? That little Krishna who is just a 3-year-old boy, 5-year-old boy having a ball of butter in his hand, looking at us with tremendous innocence and love, and then crawling in our puja room. Yaar is it? Vishwarupe. He is Vishwarupa. Vishwa Sthiti, Vishwa Utpatti, Vishwa Layam, all these things, Karanam, Janmadhyasya Yataha, you see. And that is very important. And that is the reason why our Adi Shankara Bhagavat beautifully put Mahi Vishwarupenta. And after that, rest is all Sagunala Mandudam. The taste will come. But to understand the significance and the greatness of what we are doing is difficult now. Because Krishna Rupa is so beautiful, I can have only a sentiment on that person. That's not religion. That's not spirituality. That's not Bhakti's growth. Because today, if the flavor of the month is that lovely boy, tomorrow it may be somebody else, then it won't work. Na? That's why our Adi Shankara Bhagavad Paatah, he chose Vishwarupe. So here, Bhagavan's Rupam and Bhagavan's Swarupam. Swarupam na Atma Swarupam. Consciousness na Swarupam. That consciousness is eternal. Obviously it has to be. Because nothing is created. Consciousness is not created. So as we progress in this understanding, we won't be encouraging questions like, who created God? Na? It's not even a logical question. The fact that I hear that question and try to answer it shows that I am accepting that question itself. First of all, the premise of the question itself is wrong. And when people ask, do God exist? The answer is that existence is God. Sattano nirkaliya, satta. That is God. Adha yetu aksharam and avyaktam. Avyaktam, that which is not manifested. Why Bhagavan is beautifully putting two words just to show the differentiate Saguna and Nirguna. One word would have been enough. Na? Yetu aksharam, finish. But then it will mean our Saguna is ksharam na. Yeah. Rendu vartha pote aksharam avyaktam ni is showing. And aksharam avyaktam is my swarupam. Aksharam vyaktam is my sagunam. Both are imperishable. And the Krishna rupam is that which condenses when we have bhakti. The best to understand aksharam avyaktam and aksharam vyaktam is an example given by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. The examples which he gave us many times, that which is Shastra Yoni, that Bhagavan, yasya nishvasitam vedahan, as effortless as breathing, Bhagavan's Vedic knowledge is revealed. You understand? Do we take much effort in breathing? It is only prayatna, zero prayatnam almost. Na prayatna urko muchoda. Like that, Bhagavan's Vedic knowledge. And all the secular knowledge is a particle of dust compared to the Vedic knowledge, which is infinite. And that Bhagavan, Vishnu, came down as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and then decided to be unlettered. I won't go to school. For spiritually unlettered people like us, he has to talk. Na? So, avataranam nale yarangi vardana. If he also talked in this mellifluous language of Shastra, na, what will happen to all of us? That's why he decided, I shall not be literate in the sense of the secular world, so that I can give examples which can relate to something which is the highest truth. The beauty of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's example. And our Swami, our Guru Maharaj also gives such examples. And he has tremendous love for Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's stories. And we also see a lot of sweet examples from our own Guru Maharaj, which we can all relate to. The beauty of Avatar Purushas. As the time progresses, Kripa increases. You see, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, Nirguna Upasana is like water vapor. You see, humidity, it is omnipresent. There is not even 1 inch of land in this world where there is no humidity. Maybe it is 0.00001% in Atacama desert and all that. 0.1%, 0.01%, but there will be humidity. Some water vapor has to be there, na? Nirguna Brahman Sarva Vyapi, like that. Sagunam enna, the same water vapor, when you put it under a condensing chamber of coolness, condenses and becomes a form of water, na, which can be seen, which can be tasted, which can be used for quenching my thirst. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, Thus, avyaktam, aksharam, avyaktam is like water vapor. It is there, but vyaktama theriliye. I'm not able to experience it. I'm not able to feel it. But the same water vapor, if it is condensed by bhakti, adhe nirguna. You see, the same nirgunam, same sarvavyapi, same sachidanandam takes the form of water. And if you condense even better, aisave vandirthu. And you can enjoy it. Your thirst is quenched. Water vapor won't quench thirst. Only water can. So when you are praying, even if you pray to Nirgunam, but if your devotion is Shraddha is true, that Nirgunam has to come in the form of Sagunam to do the blessing, which is what we are going to cover as Gajendra Stuti. You all know the story of Gajendra. I'm going to dwell on the philosophy of Gajendra, which Swamiji has told us on Thursday and Friday. That's the beauty of that Gajendra Stuti. The same Sagunam appeared before Vasudevji and Devaki Mata. Look at their Stuti. They didn't say lotus-like eyes and sweet red lips. Nirgunam, Nirvikaram, Satta Matram. They are saying. Yena the Bhagavatam, the padichitu Gita padicha different anubhavam. Bhagavatam prepares you to understand the inseparable nature of Sagunam and Nirgunam. So there is no R here. And so adhe Nirgunam, the same Nirgunam, omnipresent, Atma Swarupam, Sarvavyapi, Brahma Swarupam, Jagat Karanam. That Brahman, when you have bhakti, what happens is, it comes before us. Tamadbutam Balakam. Guru Ayappan comes and stands before us. Guru Ayappan's form is eternal. Guru Ayappan's name is eternal. But for the name to come in our lips, or the form to come in our, Buddhi Gocharam, Nayana Gocharam, Hridaya Gocharam, you have to condense that Nirguna Brahman with bhakti. And the bhakti nala Bhagavan Rama Kulandu poi, he comes and shows his form, which is also eternal. TathAt sakshat Guru Pavanapure Hanta Bhagyam Jananam Bhati. That the same Nirvikaram, Nirgunam comes here. And that is the beauty of these two words here. Etu aksharam avyaktam, aksharam avyaktam pariyupasate anirdeshyam. So here the way he is saying is, this aksharam or avyaktam is also what is my swarupam, and aksharam vyaktam is my rupam. And Arjuna is asking that question. Echabhyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vitamaha. And Bhagavan says, yes, I agree. Aksharam avyaktam ni sunniyapa. I will add more adjectives to it. Even those people, he could have just answered the question. You see, I'm now doing a little rasa now. Philosophy, okay, we are all clear now. Let us enjoy Krishna's words. Arjuna asked a question. Yevam satata yukta ye bhaktas tvam paryupasate. When he said tvam, he said maya veshya. Finish. Both are very clear on that. Krishna Rupam, Krishna Namam, nobody can have a second opinion. So he said tvam, he said mai, finish. But when it came to aksharam avyaktam, our Bhagavan very beautifully said, not only aksharam avyaktam, anirdeshyam pa, you can't define it. Etu aksharam anirdeshyam, that cannot be defined, because that which is not manifested, that which is not obvious to my sense organs, including mind and buddhi, how can it be defined and described? How can I actually instruct somebody on something which I have never seen, or I have never thought about, or thought cannot catch it, words cannot catch it? How can I? This is a problem. You see, that is how difficult it is. So, etu aksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragam achintyancha kutastam achalam dhruvam. Bhagavan is now doing Vedanta Sahasranamam Salaramichara. He is saying Acharam, Namba Krishnaya Namaha, Kamalanataya Namaha. Madhuri, he is saying Aksharaye Namaha, Anirdeshyaye Namaha, Abhyaktaye Namaha, Sarvatragaye Namaha. Achintyaye Namaha. Every Namaha. How can I do Namaha to an Achintyam? How can I fall at the feet of Sarvatragam? That's the problem. You see, here, this slokame dhyanam pannale oru upasana. Our Swamiji says, this is Vaikasana. Vaikasanathila, there is a wonderful upasana like that. How it does is, now you want to do upasana. Upasana, you know, now worship puja. Now you are sitting down and then you say, asanam samarpayami. Then you say, Are, the one who is sarvatragam, one who has kutastam, achalam, dhruvam, the one who is everywhere, where will I put an asanam for him? I have to put an asanam for him where he is not, so that he can come and sit. Na? So the upasana is joyful. Krishna, you are sarva vyapi. Where will I put a upasana for you to come and sit down? You are nitya shuddha. What is the need for me to give padyam, achamaniyam and archanam for you? And Prabhu, you are nitya tripta. Where is the question of me trying to offer you fruits? Hey Prabhu, you are swayam jyotihi. What is the point in me showing a small arati before you? Hey Prabhu, you are sarvatragam. So I don't know where your feet is to do charanam prapadye. I don't know where your hands are to say argyam samarpayami. I don't know where your lotus face is because you are... Indamari nenekarde upasanya. You say, to comprehend the incomprehensible and struggling with it and saying, how do I worship you? Is the worship. You see, Adanala, this Nirguna worship is very subtle, very difficult. And that's why Bhagavan added more terms to make the question well qualified. So he said, you are right. And Bhagavan is going to say, the one who do Saguna Upasana are the best knowers of yoga because they can't fail. Because they have reposed their trust on me. And my very purpose of avatara, the very purpose of me sitting and driving the chariot, the very purpose of me giving you Bhagavad Gita is, you will do Saguna Upasana. And so he is saying, Etu aksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatragam achintyancha kutastam achalam dhruvam. Hare